Ares raises his sword high above his head and brings it down with a sharp, vertical slash. A cloud of dust erupts from the impact. Even Samuel, usually calm, shows a flicker of concern. Amid the haze, Adel survives the strike. He thinks to himself that telekinesis saved him. He barely managed to deflect the sword in time. Had he been even a moment late, he would have been sliced clean in half. Ares stands as if nothing unusual happened. Unnerved, Adel demands to know if Ares was truly trying to kill him. Without flinching, Ares calmly pulls a dagger from his chest and replies that he did not intend to kill Adel, and orders him to get back in line. Adel glares, thinking to himself that Ares clearly did mean to kill him. Then Ares turns and addresses him again. Having fought me directly, class rep, what did you feel? Adel responds that it was a tactic used by the weak. Ares raises an eyebrow and asks what he means. Adel explains that Ares allowed him to use mana but held himself back. He taught them that the weak can overcome the strong by willingly taking damage to strike back. Ares sacrificed his shoulder on purpose to expose a weakness and draw him in. That wasn't an accident. Ares confirms that he's correct. The entire class stares in stunned silence. He continues. In the human realm, there are beings far stronger than you. Fighting them without taking a hit is nearly impossible. So you must bait them into complacency, show weakness, then strike with precision. Noble swordsmanship doesn't exist in my class. I only teach what helps you survive and win. Then, with finality, he declares that this isn't even swordsmanship anymore. From this point on, this is a weapons class. Adel mutters that even if they die, they should die winning. His thoughts shift to the upcoming midterm. The instructors from the Imperial School are already on edge. A spy from the human world must have leaked the situation and exam contents. In the original novel, only Citan students suffered during the test. The Imperial School students walked away unharmed. Adel realizes that Ares likely suspects him of being the spy. Which means, if he wants to clear his name, he needs to find the real traitor first. Ares turns away and tells him to go back to class. Adel clenches his fists. This is his chance to prove his innocence. He approaches Ares again. Ares eyes him and asks why he is still standing there. Is he rebelling because of what happened earlier? Adel answers firmly that he's not. Ares turns away and tells him to go back now. Adel doesn't move. His crimson eyes burn with frustration. Internally, he calls out the instructor's name, Ares. Later, alone in the call room, Adel reflects bitterly. Ares will never offer him help, not just because of suspicion, but because of the merciless side he's shown in battle. But Adel refuses to abandon that part of himself. He needs it to gain the power and authority required to face the 7 deadly sins. His anger swells, and red energy begins to swirl around him. If Ares continues to cross the line like he did yesterday, then no matter what action Adel takes in return, the consequences will be on Ares. Just then, Luna appears in front of him. Startled, Adel pulls himself together. He wonders when she got in front of him and says it looks like he startled her again. Luna smiles gently and says it's fine. Adel asks why she's here. She hesitates and says they were supposed to have lunch together yesterday and wonders if he'd like to eat together today. Adel softens. That sounds good. Let's go. Luna beams with joy and agrees. A little while later, the two sit together in the cafeteria. Adel takes in the food with quiet appreciation. It's been a long time since he had a meal like this. Luna laughs and points out how much food there is. She jokes that if they leave anything behind, they might be punished by the demon god of gluttony. Adel smirks and says they'd better make sure to eat it all. Just then, the group of bullies from earlier walk into the cafeteria. Adel's eyes meet the leader's. He casually waves his hand. The bully clicks his tongue and turns away. Behind him, a tattooed student lingers, watching Adel silently. Adel turns to Luna and asks what happened with those kids. Luna looks down and says they're the ones who bullied her. She doesn't really know why, it just started at some point. She adds that she's weak and doesn't have any special physical abilities. Adel recalls that her only gift is recovery and replies softly that he understands. Luna waves her hand dismissively and adds that they never actually hit her. They just cursed at her or took a few silver coins, nothing serious. Adel sighs inwardly and thinks of them as scum. He tells her it would be better if she stayed close to him from now on. Luna shakes her head and says that's not necessary. She just has to prove she's not like the traitorous demons. Adel replies that's exactly why she should stay near him. Luna looks up at him, puzzled. Suddenly, Adel's eyes shift to a nearby table. He asks about a student over there. Luna asks who. He points subtly and says the one with the scar or maybe a tattoo on his cheek. Luna glances over and says that boy's name is Kyle. Adel freezes. That name rings a bell. Could it be a coincidence? He thinks hard. Wasn't Kyle described like that in the novel? Then he asks if Kyle is a half-demon. Luna shakes her head. No, he's a pure demon. She adds that Kyle looks scary. He glares at half-demon students like they're disgusting. Adel's expression darkens and asks if Kyle looks at them like bugs. Luna nods quietly. Adel is stunned. That's how they used to look at humans back in Oregon. Kyle becomes a strong suspect. He debates checking the information paper but worries it might be a waste of money. Luna tilts her head and asks if he still doesn't know his classmates' names. Adel makes a decision. He will find out directly. He already has plenty of data on the spy. He gets up and walks over to Kyle's table. He greets him calmly. One of the bullies shouts in surprise, but Adel ignores him. Adel begins talking. He mentions a half-demon girl in the Imperial School's first year. She only has one relative, her older brother. The bully yells again, saying Adel is ignoring him. Adel continues. He smirks and says he thinks her name was Ray. Kyle glares at him sharply.